Hey there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really cute carrot-inspired Easter favor, or springtime favor, or gardening favor. Isn't that cute? And it's so easy and inexpensive using supplies from our sponsor, Paper Mart. You can find them online at www.papermart.com. And look how cute they look in the Easter basket we made last time. So fun, so easy. Let's go to the table and I'll show you how it's done. Here's a closer look at our cute carrot treat boxes. They only take a few minutes to make, and they are very sturdy and just adorable. Perfect gift for your kids, grandkids, Sunday school class, or a springtime craft as well. The first thing you need to do is make a macaroon box, and these come in packs of 25 from Paper Mart, and this is a slider part of the box. What you want to do is look at it and make sure that the indented score lines are down, and then you're going to fold up each side like this. You're going to fold in each end. Pre-folding here helps. And then the sides are what gets assembled first. You want to fold down there and fold it up and tuck in your ends. Do it over here on this side. It's a little awkward the first time you do it, but then after that it becomes really easy. So then after you've tucked in your ends, it's these little end flaps that hold it all together. So you fold over this piece and then it tucks right in. And you want to do the same over here. And then what we're going to do is punch a hole on one of these ends so that we can we'll be able to put our carrot top into. So I'm using a crocodile hole punch, which is just a really heavy-duty hole punch. And then we're going to paint one of these ends green. Here I've got some nice thick Liquitex paint. This is acrylic, so you want to be careful not to get it on your clothes because it will stain. And I'm choosing a foam brush from the craft store to spread that around. Look how nice and opaque that is. That's just one coat. That's all I need to do with that. If you're using the craft paint from the bottles, then you might need 2 coats, but that's not a big deal. Just let it dry between coats and it will work out really well. And this is a different branded paint from a tube. This is the Winsor & Newton Galleria. It's not very expensive, so it doesn't really matter. You can use whatever you have. And I'm just gonna paint that up, and I'm using a disposable sponge brush, but since this isn't a lot of abuse to it, I can actually wash that off and keep it for next time, which is what I will probably do. I'm going to set my paint aside. I'm actually going to set this aside too to dry, but I already have one through the power of television or YouTube that's all ready to go. Alright, so now we're going to make our little pull that's going to be the carrot top, and we're going to do that. We're going to take some we're going to take a couple pieces of narrow satin ribbon. I'm going to take a piece of this lovely grosgrain ribbon. I'll have a link to all these supplies under the video if you want to go check them out. And I'm also going to use some of this tulle. And I didn't have any green tulle, but then I thought, oh, this yellow is going to look really pretty with the green I have. It's going to be nice and fresh and springy. So even if you don't have exactly the color you want, sometimes you'll end up liking another color even better. Alright, so what I want to do is twist these ribbons together so I make it small in the middle and fold it in half. And then I'm going to push that through the hole on the end of this box. And I'm going to need a pen to help me because this is really, really thick the way I have all these ribbons together. But I want it really thick because it's going to keep that pull in place. And I think I'll grab these pliers just to help me yank it through. Now when I untwist this, that's probably got enough bulk in there just to keep it from pulling out. But just to be sure, I'm actually going to squirt a little bit of hot glue in there and let that dry, and then that's not going to go anywhere. And while that's drying, we're going to work on decorating the sleeve. So the sleeve, like the macaroon boxes, they come in 2 parts. The sleeve just comes flat and you just give it a little pinch and Bob's your uncle. You're all set. So then we're going to cover this with some corrugated paper. You can cover 6 boxes with 1 sheet of corrugated paper, and you get 10 in a package for about $3 at Paper Mart. So what I'm going to do is find the seam on my box, and I'm going to add some glue. Oh my gosh, these are so well made I can't even see the seam. It's right there. Look at that. Add another glue stick here. I love to use hot glue when I am making treat boxes because it makes it go so quickly and it adds quite a bit of stability to my project. Let's give it a good amount of glue there. And then I am going to add this. Continue adding glue and wrapping the corrugated paper around the box. The nice thing about the corrugated paper, where it has that accordion fold, if you have cut it crooked or it starts to go off a little bit, you can kind of kind of re-guide it because the paper's got a nice stretch to it. And I want to make sure I've got a nice bead of glue there so the edges will be stuck down really good. Alright. And having the sleeve open like that, you can get your fingers on the inside so you have a little bit of a, you can hold it without burning yourself. And then I'm simply going to trim off the extra paper. There we go. The sleeve is covered. All right, the next thing we're going to do is use some of the rose washi tape from Paper Mart. This is a fun Japanese stationery product. And we are going to wrap this around the box. I've been using this quite a bit today, so I am almost out of it. This is a very light tack product, so it's not too sticky. If you're using it for scrapbooking or card making and you make a mistake, you can peel it up and reposition it, which is nice. I'm going to have to add a little more glue to this because it's not going to be quite sticky enough to be securely attached to my favor box, or as securely as I like it. So I'm just adding enough so I can overlap it. And this comes in several different colors. I've used the orange because it matches my my box here, and I can do a nice tone-on-tone coloring with it. Alright, now I'm going to wrap a little ribbon around, and I ran out of rickrack on my other two boxes, so I'm just going to use this little satin ribbon here. This is also very pretty, and I'm going to secure it with hot glue in the back. It's going to serve two purposes. It's going to adhere my ribbon, but it's also going to help that that washi tape adhere as well, because it's such a low tack item. And there we go. Okay, now we need to make our tag. So I'm going to set that aside for the glue to dry. And I'm going to grab one of my tags from Paper Mart. This is the unstrung merchandise tag. It's glossy on one side and matte on the other. And we're going to work on the matte side. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see it better. All right, I've got a few rubber stamps here that are Easter themed. I've got these bunnies. I've got some waterproof ink, and I've got a few sentiments. But we're going to start with the bunnies. And I'm just going to ink it up and stamp it towards the bottom of the tag. Remember to work on the matte side, otherwise your ink will bead up. You have to, if you're going to use the glossy side, you want to use a solvent-based ink. And then I've got this sentiment that it says hippity hop. Just going to put over here on the side. Use a light touch when you're using clear stamps because they have more squish to them. Rubber stamps take a lot more oomph. So I have to be careful because I use mostly rubber stamps. So when I switch over to clear, I have to really use a gentle touch. And I've got this cute Easter label that I'm going to layer on right over the sentiment. So there we have that. And now I am going to color these with some really pale colored markers. I chose the lightest watercolor markers I have. Now you might want to go ahead and heat set this just to be safe, to make sure it's not going to bleed. I can do that with a heat gun right here. All right, and then we're just going to color this in. I've got this really light tan that I'm going to use for the bunny fur. And, you know, I wouldn't be too particular about it. Just have a good time. These are treat boxes after all. You should spend more time enjoying the treats than you spend making them, I think. A little bit of this nice green. This is, that one I just used was a Whispers water-based marker. This is a Tim Holtz. They all play really well together, so, you know, don't be afraid to mix and match. This is Milled Lavender. It's such a pretty color. I'm going to do the ears that color too. And a little bit of blue. This is Tumbled Glass. I always find that the markers, I mean, look how pale the end is. It just seems like it's a lot darker when I get it on paper. So I try to go a little bit lighter if I'm not sure. All right, now I'm going to poke out this hole and use a little baker's twine to attach this to our box. Can you believe we're almost done? This was so quick. I love the baker's twine at Paper Mart. You get 240 yard spools for, I think it's about $8 or $10, depends on how much you're buying, but it's about half the cost of buying it at the scrapbook store. And I can see my glue let go over here on my project. That's all right. I'll just re-glue that down. All right, the glue is dry now, and I'm going to attach this tag simply by putting the string under my ribbon and tying a bow. You could tie this to the kind of carrot top pull area, but I think that it would probably, the tag might rip off. I just think it wouldn't be as pretty as doing it this way. Simple as can be. I just love layering tone on tone using different shades of oranges and different shades of green. I think it's pretty. And then you just slide your center part of your box into the sleeve, and there you have it. So easy. Fill it with treats, put it in the lovely basket we made the other day, and you're going to be all set this Easter. Please check out our sponsor Paper Mart, where you can find all the products I used today at www.papermart.com, where we make you look even better. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.